Hey, and welcome to the Aeroview Lifestyle. I'm Ariel, founder of Aeroview Design Co, where we believe your home should be every bit as exceptional and individual as you are, especially if you're living the aviation dream. If you're new here, welcome. This podcast is all about bringing you behind the scenes of luxury interior design with a special focus on aviation-inspired living. We're all about raising the bar, whether you're a seasoned pilot, an executive with a passion for flight, or someone who just craves a home that stands out and truly feels like you. This month, I'm so excited to dive into a theme that's not just at the core of my business, but at the heart of every project I take on: the power of personalization. So grab your favorite drink. Maybe it's a perfectly brewed espresso or even a glass of wine if you're listening in the evening. Get comfortable and let's take off into today's topic: why personalization is the ultimate luxury in aviation home design. Let's kick things off by unpacking what we really mean when we say personalization. Because honestly, it's become a bit of a buzzword, hasn't it? You hear it in advertising everywhere, but in the world of true luxury, especially when we're talking about aviation homes, personalization goes so much deeper than picking out a color or monogramming your towels. I want you to imagine for a moment. You walk into a home, and before you even take your shoes off, you just feel it. The energy, the flow, the details, they all whisper something unique about the person who lives there. Maybe it's a custom art piece inspired by a client's first solo flight, or a hidden nook that holds a treasured model airplane collection from 3 generations. That's the difference between a nice home and one that actually tells your story. Personalization is about going past what's popular or expected. It's about asking what brings you joy, what's meaningful to you, your family, your journey. How can your home reflect those values and memories in ways that feel natural, not forced? When you start with those questions, you get spaces that are not only beautiful, but also comforting, energizing, and completely original. If you're listening right now, maybe jot down, what's one thing in your current home that feels deeply personal to you? And what's one area that feels generic, like it could belong to anyone? Just sit with that for a second. Now, you might be thinking, why does personalization matter so much to the kinds of clients I work with? I'll tell you, after years in this industry, there's a shift happening in luxury. I remember a consultation I had with a client. Let's call him Mark. Mark was an executive who had everything: sports cars, art, an impressive watch collection. But when we started planning his new hangar home, he wasn't asking for brands. He wasn't impressed by name appliances or a designer label. He wanted to know, how can you make this space feel like mine? How can I walk in and instantly know this is my story? For clients like Mark, and maybe like you, true luxury is ownership of your experience, your environment, and your narrative. Aviation clients, in particular, are used to customizing everything: their planes, their flight plans, even their gear. Why not their homes? Here's something I've noticed. The most successful people aren't chasing status symbols anymore. They're chasing experiences, legacy, and meaning. personalization in their home isn't a status play, it's a way of honoring the life they've built and the journey that's uniquely theirs. Let's talk mindset, because this is a real pivot for a lot of folks. Maybe you've always just picked from a catalog or trusted your builder's top 5 layouts. Maybe you've browsed Pinterest and saved the 20 same kitchens as everyone else. But what happens when you realize you can actually create something nobody else has? The shift is huge, and it's honestly where the magic starts. Instead of what's available, you start to ask, what's possible? Here's a story. I once had a client who loved the look of a particular runway. The symmetry, the lights, the drama of it at dusk. We designed her foyer floor to subtly reference that runway in marble and brass inlay. No one else will ever have that entrance. That's the power of thinking beyond the off-the-shelf solution. Have you ever walked into a hotel suite or a luxury home and felt, wow, this is gorgeous, but it could belong to anyone? Imagine walking into a home that could only belong to you. That's the shift. That's bespoke. Aviation homes are in a category of their own. We're not just talking about a house with a hangar attached. We're talking about the intersection of passion, performance, and sanctuary. Some of the unique challenges and opportunities in aviation home design. Hangar as heartbeat. For so many of my clients, the hangar isn't just a garage. It's the centerpiece. It's everything to them. So how do we celebrate that rather than hide it? Views and access. Should your main living space overlook your aircraft? Should you be able to watch a sunset over the tarmac from your dining table? Sound, smell, and separation. How do you design a seamless transition from the technical, high-octane energy of the hangar to the soft, restful vibe of your home? I love these challenges because they push us into new creative territory. For example, I've incorporated aviation artifacts like old propellers, framed logbooks, or even reclaimed aircraft metal into decor in ways that feel artful, not kitsy. One of my favorite projects was for a client who was a collector of vintage aviation maps. We used them as inspiration for a custom wallpaper in his library, a space where he reads, dreams, and plans his next flight. So let's get real about trends. It's easy to be seduced by what's hot right now, whether that's black hardware, aviation chic lighting, or oversized industrial details. But the thing about trends, they're, by definition, temporary. Personalization is forever. I encourage my clients to look past the Pinterest perfect. Instead, we dig into what colors truly relax you, what textures do you love, what are the small details, aviation or otherwise, that make your heart leap. For example, I had a client who adored the look and feel of old worn leather from their flying days. Instead of buying vintage style furniture, we sourced real, well-loved aviation leather to reupholster their favorite chair. That chair now tells a story and anchors the whole room. I want to share a quick case study. A couple I worked with both flew, but had different tastes. He wanted sleek and modern. She loved warmth and traditional. We blended both by designing a sleek glass wall that separated the hangar from the kitchen, paired with classic aviation prints and gold frames for her. Their space is timeless because it's theirs, not because it matches a current lookbook. Now, let me demystify the process a little, because sometimes people hear custom and think overwhelming. But my job is to make it feel effortless and inspiring. So, step one, we do a deep dive discovery. This is my favorite part. I have a questionnaire that asks you all the questions. What do you love? What frustrates you? How do you entertain? Where do you want to feel inspired? And where do you want to unwind? All the things. I want to know about your flying history, your favorite trips, your most cherished keepsakes. I'll often have clients bring photos, souvenirs, or even share stories about mentors or family who shaped their journey. Step 2, translating story to space. This is where creativity meets expertise. I'll create concepts, build mood boards, and bring you options you may never have considered, like incorporating a map wall, or building a hidden whiskey bar behind a bookcase, or designing a trophy case that's subtle, not showy. Step 3, detailing the details. This is where your home becomes unmistakably yours. It might be small, like the handles on your cabinetry echoing the throttle levers in your aircraft, or big, like custom lighting that recalls the lights on a runway. And then step 4, execution and reveal. Nothing beats the moment when you see your finished space. It's always my hope that you feel both seen and surprised that we've captured not just your style, but your spirit. I want to talk honestly about the investment. Personalization is not the cheapest route, but what you gain is priceless. A space you'll never tire of, daily inspiration, a legacy for your family, an environment that elevates every aspect of your life and work. Let's face it, aviation homes are already a statement. But when you personalize, you're creating something even more rare, a sanctuary and a showpiece that honors your story. I'll never forget a client who said, "This home makes me want to become the best version of myself." That's the ultimate ROI. Let's make this interactive. If you have a notebook or your phone, jot down, number 1, what are 3 things that matter most to you outside of work or flying? Number 2, is there a space in your home right now that's fine but doesn't really reflect who you are? Number 3, if money and logistics were no object, what's the wildest, most personal design idea you'd love to bring to life? Don't be afraid to dream big. And if you want to share your answers, DM me on Instagram or email me. I love hearing from listeners. Maybe you're hesitating, worried about cost, about making a mistake, or about standing out too much. Here's my advice. Start with one room or one feature. Think about what feels right, not just what looks impressive. Work with a designer who listens first and sells second. If you've been burned by generic luxury before, you deserve to experience what true personalization can do. Personalization is the ultimate luxury because it's built on your dreams, your achievements, your vision for the future. As we move through this month, I want you to think about the places in your life, your home, your office, even your airplane, that could become more personal, more meaningful, more you. And if you're ready to take that first step, reach out for a discovery call. I'd love to hear your story. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Next week, we'll go deeper with real client stories, projects that transform not just homes, but the people who live in them. Until then, keep dreaming big, living elevated, and remembering life's always better at altitude.